Broadcasting live from Israel.
IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Tonight we are pleased to welcome Bernie Fine, the associate head coach of the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team. Coach Fine is now in his 35th year at Syracuse, during which the Orange have reached 3 Final Fours and won the whole thing in 2003. Coach, welcome to Israel Sports Radio.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be on with you guys.
Great. Coach, we always like to start at the beginning. You're a student at Syracuse. You become the student manager of the team in the mid-'60s. Now, there were a couple people of note on that team, right?
Well, Jim Boeheim was on the team. Dave Bing was on the team. Those are probably the two most notable. But we also had really good team. We made the NCAA tournament back then when they were only taking 16 teams.
And so you graduate, and then you became a high school coach. So is coaching something you always wanted to go into?
Not really. I always enjoyed it, but I really didn't think about making a career of it. It just worked out very well, and that's the direction I wound up going into. And it's been a very good career and an enjoyable occupation.
So Coach Boeheim then takes over as head coach in 1976, brings on you and Rick Pitino as his assistants. Could you have imagined 35 years later that you and Jim would still be together?
No, I never thought I'd be doing this long. But, again, I enjoy it. It's different because you get new kids every year. And you'd like to see the kids develop on and off the court. You know, they become better players. They become, good people. They work hard. They're good kids. So it's been a really enjoyable run.
Now, as the associate head coach, what are your main duties with the team?
Well, you do everything. I mean, I probably spend more time on the defense, and Jim spends more time on the offense. But, you're recruiting, player development, all aspects of the game. I mean, alumni relations, academic support, whatever we can do to help the players.
You're also known as somewhat of a big man specialist there. You've groomed some pretty good ones, Louis Orr, Ronnie Cycli, Etan Thomas. How exactly does one become a big man specialist, and what does that actually entail?
Well, I don't know if I'm a big man specialist, but we work with groups here. One coach takes the guards, one takes the forwards, and one takes the centers usually. It just worked out that I've been working with the centers. They've been playing well, so we don't change much. What we do is we spend a lot of individual instruction, a lot of individual help, preseason, postseason, and right through the season. We have groups. The first thing in practice is groups where the groups break up and work individually with a position coach.
So you've been at Syracuse 35 years, but you're still actually kind of young. Would you still like to be a head coach someday?
Oh, no question. If the opportunity arose, for sure. I've had a few opportunities, but the positions I could have gotten I wasn't interested in. The ones I was interested in I didn't get. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation, and I didn't want to continually move my family. I have 3 young children. I didn't want to move them from place to place to place as you move up. And I figured if I get the job that I want, then I'd go there and stay there. If not, I'd stay here. So, looking back on it, I probably should have left. And we went to the Final Four, the championship game in '87, and had taken a smaller job. And then if I was any good, I would have moved up the ranks and, been a head coach. There's a huge disparity between a head coach and an assistant.
Any inside information you can give us as to what jobs you were thinking about then?
Well, I thought about a lot of them. But, again, it's a realistic world, and it's the ones I interviewed for a few. And, again, some I was and some I wasn't.
What type of job would you be looking for at this point?
If I got a job now, it would be one where I just make one move and stay there. I'd stay whatever school I went to and, finish out my career there. Someplace that I just enjoy coaching, where they have good kids, and that's up to the coach to a lot of it, to a large portion.
Okay.
And someplace you think you could be successful. You don't want to go to a program that's never been good and in a league that you just can't win. It's tough if you go to the ACC, Duke and Carolina. They're always the teams, so you're gonna fight to see if you can finish third. Carolina's been down the last few years, but they'll be back, sure. You want an opportunity or a chance to, be successful and win the league. Every coach's goal is to win a national champion.
So last year was an interesting one for your guys. You lose in the preseason to a Division II school down the street, but then the next thing you know, you're 28-2. So was the loss an illusion or a wake-up call?
Well, it's a little bit of both. We play an awful lot of zone defense, and the players keep saying, we want to play man-to-man, we want to play man-to-man. And Jim said we're better in the zone. So we played Lemoyne all man-to-man. Even at the end of the game, we could have gone to a zone, and I think we would have beat them by 15 or 20. But Jim said they want to play man-to-man, we'll show them how good their man-to-man defense. So we stayed in man-to-man the whole game, and even then, Wes Johnson hit a shot with 16 seconds to put us up to, and we called the timeout, and Jim said, no matter what happens, don't let this man shoot. No matter what happens, don't let him take a shot. They come down, throw one pass, give him a wide open look, and he makes the 3 and we lose by 1.
Isn't that why they say players play and coaches coach?
No question about that. But it was an exhibition game, and it didn't count in our records. And it was a wake-up call, People were stunned, and actually we played North Carolina last year in Madison Square Garden, and we beat them pretty good in the tournament. And after the game, Roy Williams said, I don't know who Lemoyne is, so I'm certainly not going to schedule them.
Well, you got your revenge this year, right?
Well, we played them a lot. It's a local school, and it's it's a money game for them. We give guarantees, so they make decent money on it, and they can use it to help their program.
I guess it also taught you guys a lesson that that's the last time you're going to listen to your players?
Well, no. We listen to them from time to time, but, they have to understand that we've been doing this for a long time, and we know what we're doing, so maybe they should listen to us also.
Okay, so break down this year's team for us, your team and the Big East.
Well, everybody says the Big East is down a little, but right now there's 4 teams, we have 4 teams in the top 10.
Yeah, and I saw UConn just jumped into the polls right at number 7 out of nowhere.
Yeah. They went to Maui and they beat Michigan State, who was 2, and then they beat Kentucky, who was 8 or 9, and won the tournament. So they moved up. But Coach Calhoun's been up a long time, does a really good job. And Villanova's really strong. Pittsburgh's really strong. Georgetown's really strong. There aren't many weak teams. I mean, the league in West Virginia's been playing well. The league is extremely strong. Louisville, I go on and on. St. John's is doing a good job now.
And I guess every one of those teams you just named has a pretty decent coach at the helm, don't they?
Well, I don't think there are any bad coaches in the Big East.
Nope.
You have to be able to coach in this league. You're going to get your butt kicked because there are excellent coaches in here. You better recruit and you better have players. But a coach to some extent is as good as his players. I don't care who the coach is. If you have bad players, you're going to struggle. And you could be the greatest coach in the world, and you could be a great coach or a poor coach and have great players, and you'll win some games. You might not win as many as if you had a great coach there. You're going to win games, but recruiting is such an integral part of what you do.
Sure. So what do you see out of your team this year? What kind of team do you have?
I like it. We're a very young team. We only have 1 senior, and right now 4 of our top 8 players are freshmen. So, we're a relatively young team, and 1 is a sophomore. So I think it'll be a season where we get better every game. I think we have improved a little each game. And we have a long way to go. We play Cornell tonight, and then Saturday we play North Carolina State, and then next Tuesday we play Michigan State in Madison Square Garden. So those are good teams. You have ready to go and ready to compete and play up to the level that we're capable of playing.
And what are the matchup challenges in that Michigan State game?
Well, coaches does a great job, and they have a very good team. They've been in the Final Four 6 of the last 12 years. They went to the championship game last year. And not the champion. They went to the Final Four, excuse me. But they're a very, very talented team. They have a bunch of players back. They're physical. They rebound well. They score. They're a very good defensive team. And you have to go out there and compete. And we've got to, defensively we've been doing a decent job. We've got to get a little better offensively and shoot the ball a little better than we've been shooting. This
year, do you have a big team, small team, quick team? What's the main aspect of this year's team?
I think we have a little of everything. I think we have decent size overall. I think we have some good people coming off the bench. And to date, we just haven't shot the ball from the three-point line as well as we would like to. Last year we shot almost 52% for the year as a team. I think we were 1 or 2 in the country. Right now we're shooting 42 as a team. Defensively, our defensive field goal percentage is a little better than it was last year. So we just got to pick up the offensive end and keep trying to improve every day.
Okay. We were just talking about TCU joining the Big East. What do you think about that?
Well, it was strictly pretty much a football move. We certainly didn't need them for basketball.
Right.
But the football side needed them. So they come in all the sports, and now, you take a longer trip because it's, I don't know how many, 1,600 miles away from Syracuse. And the tough part is tougher on them because they have no schools close to them, so every time they go on the road, it's a long trip.
Right, and you can't even partner them up with anyone and do 2 trips at once.
No, well, we don't do that anyway, but they may come east and play 2 games, play 2 at a time to try and do it. But that's tough to go on the road and play back-to-back games. It's a very tough thing in this league. And they would have to want to do it. I don't think the league would, do that to them because they don't do it to the other teams. Occasionally you have to when they're on the road. But they try and match it up where if you're going, then you play the game before that at home with the next one at home, and they try and match you up with somebody that's not just home for 3 games and you're traveling all over the place.
And obviously it's a move with, like you said, that was done for football reasons. Do you think it was a good move or a bad move looking at it from a basketball standpoint?
From a basketball standpoint, we have 16 teams, which is one of the biggest conferences in the country. They had more teams. I don't think we needed it. But from a football stance, they're a top 3 or 4 team in the country, and it certainly enhances the football side. And, we don't play just basketball or football. You play all the sports. So overall, it'll help, because if it helps football, and football and basketball drive the wagon. They're the two money makers in all the programs, around the country.